I was born again.
You are born again.
I'm a young coach today. The Final Four has been my dream for many, many years. These young kids gave it to me.
DePaul over UCLA for the West Regional Championship, and the game that thrust DePaul University and head coach Ray Meyer into the national limelight. You've told me so many times, Ray, that you'd go out to recruit a kid and you'd say you want him to go to DePaul, and he would say, where is DePaul? And I assume that that's the game that really changed all that around for you.
Well, there's no question about it, Greg. That was the game that put us into the national spotlight, and I think that was the game that gave me my greatest thrill in coaching, because I realized the dream come true of reaching the Final Four. It's true now when we call a boy in New York and tell him we would like him to visit DePaul, he knows where DePaul is, and he wants to come in and visit. It's a little more receptive.
I'm sure. That was just about 1 year ago, and the DePaul story, of course, has continued to develop. In the next half hour, we'll follow the progress of this young team that moved to the top of the ratings, see it struggle to stay on top with all the pressure of being number one, and analyze the players who have taken Chicago and college basketball by storm. The first important test for DePaul came at Northern Illinois on December 12th. The Blue Demons had won their first two games and were going for number 3, and Ray Meyer's 600th coaching victory in his 38th season.
Watch behind you!
It was a tough game. The team was flat, but Ray Meyer found a man who would be important for the rest of the year, Skip Dillard. Regulation play ended in a 49-49 tie, forcing overtime. Mark Aguirre was fouled at the buzzer, and the rest was history. UCLA was next on national television. Coach Meyer, worried that he was overcoaching, decided to make an adjustment that would get this team going.
Come on, Get him back!
before, and I talked to him, and I said, now look, we're going to have fun tonight. I want you to play. Do what you think we should do within our own framework. Now, when you have a shot, take it. Don't think that you shouldn't take it. Don't hesitate. Just play normally. Do what you do naturally. Do what you do best. Don't stop and think. Is Coach going to like this? Don't even consider me. Just do it. And I think it helps them play a little freer.
While UCLA was watching Mark Aguirre carefully, freshman Teddy Grubb was having an outstanding game. Grubb came off the bench and scored 28 points as the Demons beat the Bruins 99-94 on their home court, Pauley Pavilion. DePaul was impressive, and the pollsters began to take note. Aguirre scored 34 as the Demons opened the new year with a 92-79 win over tough Missouri. Skip Dillard was impressive, as was playmaker Clyde Bradshaw, who ignited the Blue Demons with his steals and excellent floor leadership. DePaul had won its first 9 games and was moving up fast. Next was Loyola at the Ramblers Alumni Gym, an 80-75 victory, one of 3 against the always tough Northside rival. Clyde Bradshaw took up the slack when Aguirre fouled out early in the second half, and freshman Terry Cummings dominated the game inside to make it 10 in a row. DePaul's 12th straight win came at Milwaukee against Marquette, a 92-85 win. Cummings was outstanding again, and Aguirre was establishing his All-America credentials with a 36-point performance. The Blue Demons had risen to the top of the wire service polls. They were number 1.
In the last few years, we've been getting the intercity type school boy coming out of in the rougher areas of the city of Chicago. Mark Aguirre comes from a very tough neighborhood, and Cummings from way south, and also Teddy Grubbs. Years ago, we were getting a lot of suburban boys, and they weren't as talented as the boys we have now. These intercity boys are used to playing on playgrounds and in the various gymnasiums, and they're used to playing one-on-one, so they learn their skills very well. And most of them are self-taught, where they played and they imitate the professionals, or they play against college boys when they were in high school, or professionals, and on the sandlots and in the various park gyms and that. So they have become very proficient at their basketball skills. I was over in the restaurant when we eat with them. I like to eat that pregame meal with them. I like to spend as much time as I can with them. I get to learn their backgrounds, and I get to understand them. I never thought we'd be in this position. Suddenly, from obscurity, we're heroes. Chicago is, I don't know, they've really taken us over by storm. We're number 1, so they say, and I don't know how long, but let's enjoy it.
The Lamar Cardinals were DePaul's first test after being named number 1.
Come down! Come in!
And the Blue Demons were tense and shaky in the limelight.
They call everything on us, but nothing on them.
The Blue Demons stalled to protect the lead, and Lamar stayed back and waited to cash in opportunities.
Let's take time out. Regular offense with Mark in the middle. So we don't do anything. What do you shoot the damn thing for? We're in a regular zone offense, Terry. We're in a regular zone offense. All right. Let Mitch start in the middle now. You don't understand English. I'm playing the wing. Yeah, I tell you to go down. I wasn't playing. I was standing out there. You had the ball. Mark had the guy backed out of the ballpark. No give it. You can't play. We can't play and lose the game because if we can't stand and pass the ball all night without trying to score. When it goes to the baseline, the middle man's got to roll. Not 30-footers. Not 30-footers. No! Let Mitchell. Let Mitch go outside. Tell him. Go! Go!
Dillard had saved the 61-59 win, but it was time to work hard again.
Wait, stop. Hey, we have no offense at all.
When you win, you just savor the victories. You don't concentrate that much. I think well, that's why I said the other day, I thought maybe we needed a loss. Then we'll go back to playing real hard again. I don't think we're playing as well right now as we played a couple of weeks back.
You got to remember one thing. We were awfully poor rebounding against Lamar Tech. Now, let's rebound today. You got to make basketball as a game a habit. If you do it in practice, you'll do it in the game.
Maybe
If
the
you don't
scare
do
or
it in
two
practice,
that we
you won't
had,
do it in the game.
maybe that'll bring us out of it. I know after the Lamar game, we had the best practice we had all year. I don't know, I was a little upset that night, and the boys say that was the worst practice they've had since they've been in school here. That was the hardest anyway.
If this man goes over to help like that, our man overran him, he goes to help. You guys got to get that weak side board. That's what Lamar got against us.
It was Sunday, January 20th, a nationally televised matchup with number 6 LSU and a 14-game winning streak on the line for the top-ranked Blue Demons. Everyone in Alumni Hall was pumped up for this showdown. The fans, the announcers, and the players.
DePaul ranked number 1 in America. Final Four team a season ago. It's a young team. Lead to McGuire, and Mark McGuire puts it right on down off of the fifth from Bradshaw. DePaul in his zone defense, firing over it is Carter, and it does not go, and the ball will come back in. Macklin's hurt. He's down. It looked like he twisted his ankle on the very first rebound attempt.
With All-American Rudy Macklin out for the game with a sprained ankle, DePaul jumped out to an early big lead. Clyde Bradshaw was controlling the floor game for DePaul. Ray Meyer was agonizing over every play, every whistle. And Mark Aguirre was hitting bullseyes. He led all scorers with 31 points. But LSU, led by Dwayne Scales, fought back and chipped away at the Blue Demons' lead late in the second half. Ray Meyer was prowling the sideline as LSU came to within 2 points. It was time to regroup.
Don't foul! If you see the guy shoot, let him shoot! Don't stand there, no one with him, but don't foul!
Coach, if we get the ball less than 5 seconds, they have no timeouts. Just hold it out.
Hey! They have no more timeout!
Clyde Bradshaw sank the clinching foul shot, and the Demons were 78-73 winners. DePaul pushed its record to 25-0, but one savvy old coach offered a bit of prophetic advice.
The thing I feel at DePaul is that the whole country, not only Chicago's gone bananas over it, but the whole country has. And they, I feel that they could only lose a game before the tournament, because the tournament's the point of no return. You know, if you stumble and stub your toe there, that's all she wrote. The next thing you do is go to your golf clubs and go play golf for 5 or 6 months till the next season comes around. But if you lose a game before, it takes the puffiness, the chestiness away from the kids. It takes the wind out of their sails. They start listening again. See, the Paul has been dodging raindrops. They've been playing according to their competition. And all of a sudden, that lightning's going to hit. So I hope it hits before the tournament.
And it hit in a double overtime battle at Notre Dame. Orlando Woolridge gave the Fighting Irish a 66-64 lead to open the first 5-minute session. DePaul tied it moments later when freshman Terry Cummings brought Ray Meyer off the bench with a 20-footer from the baseline. Clyde Bradshaw, steady and alert, jumped in front of Woolridge's pass and converted the steal into a driving layup that put the Demons up 68-66. With the game tied again, Mark Aguirre hit from the lane. He had 28 points. With 36 seconds left, Jim Mitchum, playing with a broken hand, missed the rim on a 1-and-1, and Notre Dame had another chance. It came when Rich Branning forced a second overtime with this shot from the far corner. Kelly Tripucka, who also had 28, sank a pair of free throws to open the second overtime, but DePaul tied it again when Teddy Grubb hit this 20-footer. Just under 3 minutes remained when Bradshaw came up with another big steal and layup for a 74-72 lead. But Bill Hanslick came right back for Notre Dame to tie it at 74. With 19 seconds left, Woolridge dropped in a pair of free throws, and Notre Dame had a 76-74 lead. The final shot was to be taken by either Aguirre or Skip Dillard on the weak side, but Notre Dame boxed Aguirre inside. Dillard couldn't hear the bench over the crowd, and Mitchum tried but missed, ending the streak at 26 games, 25 this year. Notre Dame had won an important game, but DePaul had learned an equally important lesson.
Oh, there's no question. We've turned that defeat into a positive thing already. We know we said we didn't come out and play with the intensity with that we normally played, and we feel that we can play a lot better than we played down there.
I picked the Final Four. I picked Syracuse, North Carolina, DePaul, and Oregon State. Now, I get mixed up there. I want Louisville someplace in there, and my wild card is LSU. I think LSU, if they put it together, they're out of sight.
So the long season is over now, and it's time for a tournament. NCAA came out with its pairings last weekend, and DePaul has been placed in the West Regional. Does that upset you?
No, it doesn't, Greg. We played all year long to get into the NCAA, and we're there. No matter what regional we go into, we still have to win, and they're all good teams in those regionals, and they're pretty well spaced out this year, so I think anybody coming out of any regional will be a fine basketball team. What about the idea of possibly playing closer to home, though? If you were in the Midwest regional, you might have a little bit more fan support behind you. Well, that's true. But we're having such a terrible time with tickets out at DePaul now. The further we go, it may be too expensive for some of the fans to travel. Let's take a look at some of your players before we wrap it up, Ray, and we'll start with freshman Teddy Grubb, who has made the comeback of sorts for you this year. Teddy is a fantastic shooter, and he's been hurt in the Dayton game and hasn't played well. I thought he played well the other night against Notre Dame, and he's got to come along for us. Okay, speaking of being hurt, Jim Mitchum broke his hand. How big a blow is that to DePaul? He's a big blow because he's the best defensive big man we have, and if we can get just some 10 minutes a game out of him, just insurance for Terry Cummings, so that if Terry gets in foul trouble, we'd have to have someone to take his place. This is Skip Dillard, and Skip Dillard has played very well for you, junior college transfer. Skip is a great outside shooter, and he's gaining confidence with each ball game. I think by the tournament, he's going to be fine in those tournament games. And Digger Phelps himself said that Clyde Bradshaw is a real key to your offense. Well, he's a catalyst. You saw him stealing the ball there, and we take so much of what Clyde does for granted. He's a great basketball player, and he makes our offense go. And you mentioned Terry Cummings before, the exceptional ability for a freshman. Well, he's largely responsible for the success of this team. He's improved. He's the most improved ball player on our team, and probably one of the better freshmen in the country. And is there really anything else you can say about Mark Aguirre? Yeah, he should have scored 3 more points than Notre Dame. No, he does it all. He can score. Inside, he's great in playing the pivot. He can go out on the outside and score. He can rebound. He can play anywhere on the court. He does everything we ask of him. He's a complete ball player. Throughout the season, there was a great deal of conversation about the possibility of his turning pro next season. Do you think about that? Do you think it's a possibility? No, we have an understanding. Mark said he would come to me before he made any decision, and in New York, I think he told the press that he was going to be back.
Okay, now if Mark McGuire stays with you, my feeling is that DePaul has a chance to be a super team next year. Do you agree?
I believe so. We have practically everybody back but Jim Mitchum, and our freshmen are going to grow up.
Okay, what about the fans? They must have counted a great deal for you this year.
They were really great. That group out in that basketball at Alumni Hall, they rocked that gym, and they just get the ball players psyched up to play, and they rise to the occasion, and I think they've pulled us over a couple of rough spots this year.
And a lot of fond memories being left behind because the Rosemont Horizon is next. I know you leave for Tempe, Arizona tomorrow night, Ray. We wish you and the Blue Demons the best of luck. And whether it's the first round or the championship game, everybody knows who DePaul is by now. Good night.